In the last video, we discussed how to create a class and properties from a UML diagram. Now we'll talk about how to create methods as well. A few changes since the last time, since the last video, is I added this, the property for final. Hopefully it should be pretty straightforward how that works. And the other change I made was this, that I added a method to the UML class diagram called clear, just to show you how to code a void method. Not that it's a big deal, but I just wanted to illustrate that as well. Okay, so this is what I have. One of the things that you can't tell from a UML diagram is the exact composition of what grade does and what clear does. So there has to be other documentation that tells you how to go about creating a grade and how you go about creating the clear method. We'll just assume right now very simple implementations of those methods. At any rate, let's go back to our coding. So to create a method, just like any other method that we've been creating all along, the only thing is that, remember, methods are ways in which we can get into ways in which we can get into this class from the outside world. So we want to be sure that we use the keyword public to define the method. And so here we have a public, and grade, remember, according to our UML diagram, is a string. So we're going to call public string, and then we have grade, and then remember this is a method, so we have to do parentheses, parentheses. Okay, so that's what we want to do here, and this is what we're going to do. Now, obviously, we'll get an error message because we haven't returned a value yet. So I'm going to define a variable called average. First, I'm going to define a variable called grade, a string variable called grade, and then a decimal variable called average, so that we can average those two grades, the midterm and final. So let's just assume that we're going to take the average of midterm and final and then just sort of place it in a normal grading chart to give us the grade. So we're going to say average, and we're going to have that be equal to parentheses, the midterm, plus the final, and divide that by 2. Okay, just a straightforward average. And then we're going to say if, let's say the average is greater than or equal to 90, then we're going to say grade equals A. And just for simplicity's sake here, we're going to just say else grade equals F. Okay, so we either get an A or an F, and that's all. You know, we could put in the whole thing here, but that's not the point. The point is to try to show us how to create the method. And then finally, at the end here, we're going to return grade. If you want to look at the complete thing, look the complete way in which to define grade, look on the demo for this week, the student demo for this week. Okay, so that's all there is to defining a method called grade. And now the other one that we want to create is a clear method. So we will say public, and this is going to be a void. It's going to be void because we don't have a type after clear. And we're going to say clear, and of course parentheses, parentheses to indicate that it is indeed a method. And what we're going to do here is we're going to do a name equals to quote quote, and we're going to have midterm equals 0, and final equals 0 as well. Okay, so that's basically all that there is. One of the things that I want to answer is this: should we be using the properties here, or should we be using the instance variables? It's quicker to use the instance variables. It's probably safer to use the properties. So you have to have a trade-off between the two things. All right, that's all for this video. Next time what we're going to do is we're going to talk about how do we use this class that we've created to, well, the first thing is how do we test out this class, and then we'll see how we use it.